What's going on, guys? Girls, Rob here with you this evening, this Saturday evening. And didn't know if I was going to be here or not, but didn't know if I was going to be online or not tonight. But I made it. Made it. Did a lot of stuff in the afternoon, evening times, and we was able to make it. So proud that we could. Let's see. Number one. Mom's doing much better. Her stitches came out Friday, doing a lot better. She's feeling a whole lot better. Well, her knee's still bothering her. Her knee, where she fell down, is actually bothering her more than her head is. So we have to keep an eye out on that. NFL draft is wrapping up tonight. Let's see where they're at in the draft. NFL Draft Live. They should be about the 6th round by now, I would say. Let's see where they're at. So, hey, what's up, Philip? What's going on? Yeah, some couple of surprises in the draft went on over the last few days. Definitely a couple that surprised me anyway. May not have surprised you, but a couple surprised me in the draft, and we'll talk about them in just a moment. Yeah, number one thing, I guess, is the Bears moving up and trying to get Fields, and they got him. Made a trade with the Giants. Every team in the NFC East made a trade except Washington, Giants, and then the Eagles and Cowboys. Extra day and weekend for you. All right, awesome. Awesome. Let's see. Who else? Let's see. What else is hey, Big Paulie, what's going on? Big Paulie, what's going on? Your man right here screwed up a little bit this afternoon and evening. I'll tell you what it did. First off, we had great support, community support. Everybody that came through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we did great. Our yard sale did wonderfully. Obviously, you can always do better, but we exceeded last year's totals, I think, of sales. So very pleased there. People were treating us nice, and the people that met my wife on Facebook ended up coming by, holding their word, saying, yeah, you know, we want this, we want this, we want this, we want this. Barney Ross, Carmen Basillo. Oh, okay. Boy, these boxes. Ross wins by decision. I don't know. Ross wins by decision. Question mark? We'll see. While we're waiting on Big Paulie's response, tell you what all happened. We went to a place pretty close to here, ate dinner. Actually, Ross got cut and got beat. Oh, okay, Ross got beat. Gotcha. Had us a nice burger, fries, drink, and we were going to get ice cream and decided, nope, we don't need it. So we came back home. Sun's still way up in the air. So we decided to mow grass. So not necessarily a bad idea, but I'll tell you what happened. We go outside, and most time Darla push mows. And it was a little warm this evening. So after about, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes, I said, let's trade. You drive, you ride more. So she wasn't a little unsure at first, and I told showed her where the clutch was. Really, no brake you have to worry about. On mine, you mash the gas. You don't put it in gear. It's a Husqvarna. You mash the gas, or you let off, or you can put it in reverse. So she was driving along. So I'm push mower in my Husqvarna. I got a 4-wheel drive push mower, and I get up under some bushes, and the gas cap falls off. Don't even know anything about it. I'm out here just pushing away, and I'm going around a tree, and I see gas popping up, and I'm like, whoa, something's not right here. I'm missing a gas cap. So I immediately go to the wife and said, you went up under some bushes, didn't you? And she said, yep. So I go check her area out. She checked out. And I said, no, didn't happen with her. It happened with me. I went up under a bush, hit it. It popped off, I guess, and then I ran over it a couple times. So I got to get a new gas cap for my push mower. So I called my brother. I had a full tank of fuel. And I said, look, you want some gas? I don't want to put, my push mower away, and I really don't want to do it with no gas cap on it, and I don't have a place to put in gas. You want some gas? Come on down here. What's up, Alex? And he told me, he said, look, why don't you put a plastic bag over it with a rubber band? So I let it cool off for a couple seconds and then did that, and it seemed to have worked. I hope it did anyway. We're going to see how well it worked. Go back and check it the next day or two, but I'm going to go get a cap for it Monday morning. I'll go buy a new gas cap for it. So we'll check about that. So Darla did a lot of riding today. She did a lot of riding more. Thank you very much, my dear. She did a great job. And actually, she did better than me. She goes a little slower, cuts better. I go too fast. I miss spots. So I'm learning. Who was the big in the first round? Who's the big surprise? I mean, I don't really know. Owusu Koromoa did not go the first round. Is that the biggest surprise? I really don't know which 4 teams had the best NFL draft. I have not seen today's draft at all. I saw Tampa. Tampa took Tyron in the first round, which I really wish they would have taken. I wish they would have taken Barmore. Barmore went on to the second round of Christian Barmore, but they went with Bucks got Trask later. What's up, Darius? But they got Tyron and they got Trask. I don't think they had the best draft by any stretch of the imagination. Vikings, Darrisaw fell into their lap at 23. I don't know what they did the rest of the way, but that is a great first-round pick. That's a steal. I think Rodgers is going to retire. I doubt it. I think he is pushing the issue. I still think he gets traded to Vegas. I think he's going to be a Vegas guy before it's over with. I don't think he's ever going to play for the Packers again. I'm with you there, but we'll see. Mac Jones going to New England. We'll see what else happened along the way. If anybody wants to give me some picks of who they think really did the best, you can do it. AFC East have all young quarterbacks. They do indeed. The veteran of the group is in Buffalo now. Well, yeah, the Bucks didn't need a lot. That's right. Trask, you see, Ravens did well. You're exactly right. They got Bateman. They got Owa. Yeah, uh, I would instead of Owa, I would much rather have seen them get Christian Barmore, but they did not do that. Um, Barmore to me is a beast. I really think so. Ojulari, he didn't go first round either. There was a few of them that didn't go first round that I picked that would. Leatherwood really jumped in this draft. I had him going 31st to the Ravens, and the Raiders got him with the 17th pick. They really moved up. And maybe the Raiders know something. Maybe they know that they think, or at least they have a thought in mind in that Rodgers may be coming that way, and they've got to protect him. Leatherwood is a heck of a pick. He's a heck of an offensive lineman, and they didn't move up to get him, so that was a really good move. The Bears had a great draft if Fields pans out. What was the ratings like for the NFL draft? I cannot tell you guys. I have not had a TV on all day. I have not had a television on all day. Also, let me give a big shout out to Al Red Sox fan for having me on his channel. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I like joining up with those guys. Big Paulie, that was the first time I ever met Big Paulie. I'll have to check his channel out. So, what's oh, there's the hell right there. Thanks so much. I appreciate that the other night. It was a lot of fun. And Bleacher Bums Gaming, we get together a lot anyway. And we like I said, we had already did a pre-draft show a couple weeks ago, a couple weeks prior. And I enjoyed it. I really did. I had a lot of fun. So you guys out there, who went higher in the draft than you thought they would? How about that, guys? Who went higher in the draft and you thought, okay, no way this guy goes this high? Let's see. For me, I will see. I think Horn. Going 8th was a little higher than I thought he would. I didn't think he was going that high. The guy at San Francisco took at quarterback. Lance. Oh, yeah, Lance. He went a lot farther than. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. And you know what? To me, he could be a project. He could really be a project. And think about it. Now, just bear with me. Now, I realize the guy's 6'6". I realize the guy weighs 248, 250. I know he's a big guy. But look at the competition he faced. Have you ever watched a 12-year-old kid that has really outgrown the other kids and he's playing Little League Baseball? And he looks like a man among boys, right? But then when everybody else grows up and they're all 18 years old, it's not that way. And that's what I kind of think here, that Lance was a man among boys playing the teams that he was playing and made himself look a lot better than I think he is. Now, that's just my opinion. Now, guys. How do you think Charles Barkley being NFL GM? Barkley would tell you how it's at. Barkley would tell you how it is, and straight up, whether you like him or whether you don't like him. So I give Charles that. But that's the way I look at it. Lance now has stepped up to where everybody is the same size, or he may be a little bigger. But things are going to speed up for him now. I mean, the guys that were playing DBs against him were 4.8s, 4.7s. Now he's going to be taking on 4.2s and 4.3s. The guys that were playing DBs against him were 5.7, 5.8, 5.9. Now they're 6'1, 6'2, 6'3. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I think it's a dangerous pick picking him third. That's just what I'm saying. Mac Jones, And I realize the kid is probably the slowest of the 5 quarterbacks. He's probably the slowest. You watch your tape. He ran through reads better than any of the 5, I think. Even better than Lawrence. His head was a swivel. He never focused just on one receiver. You watch some of his tape. He was like it. Now, when he focused just on one receiver and got it to him, I mean, that's fine. But when he was like that when he had to switch up receivers. What is your biggest question mark after the draft? Oh, it's still got to be Lance. It's got to be Lance because, I mean, look, to me, Lance played the least amount of competition of the 5. Then the BYU quarterback. Now, the BYU quarterback, I will give him this, okay? He played some guys that are going to be drafted. He played against Coastal Carolina and some other teams. Not great competition, but better competition and faster competition and teams that were actually in the top 20, in press. So he played competition, but man, oh man, look what Jones played every week. I mean, not a cupcake out there. Not a cupcake out there. So, and he ran the table. Okay. Did he make a couple of bad throws? Yes. Yes. He made some bad throws. He made a couple bad throws, but the coach immediately took him to the sidelines and got it fixed. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? And that's another thing. He took criticism well. You got to think about this. You have got crybabies in the NFL. And look, I don't want to beat a guy while he's down, but Cam Newton is. Look, who is a worse crybaby in the NFL if things are not going their way than Cam Newton? He can throw a helmet with anybody. There's a lot of things he can do, and he just when he's playing well. But that's like a kid. That's like a kid. If you're a coach to a baseball team, you don't have to teach a kid how to celebrate. They know how to do that. You got to teach a kid how to accept losing. Now, you don't want them to learn how to lose, but you got to tell them how to accept it without having to throw a fit or, coming in front of the press acting like a big whiner. You can't do that. How you doing, Bobby Catalano? You just can't do that. Will Justin Fields be the best Ohio State quarterback of all time in the NFL? He better be. He needs to be, but I don't know. I really don't know. We'll see. Fields played a heck of a game against a Clemson defense that was very good. Very good defense. Fields played a great game and beat them. Now, obviously didn't do it against Alabama, but I just don't know. We'll see. Fields, we'll see what happens. But there are players out there that are whiners, and that is not the position you can be a whiner, is at quarterback. And look, like Tom Brady or don't like Tom Brady, okay? If he throws an interception, you'll see him grab his helmet and kind of do like that a couple times. First thing he does is get on that sideline, sits on the bench, and finds out what he did. What did I do wrong? He's looking at tape or whatever. Who is your predictions for AFC and NFC championship games? Well, a lot of things depend and tread on where Aaron Rodgers goes. I still say Rodgers is going to the Raiders. A lot of people, I've had a few people tell me today they think he's going to retire. It could happen. I don't think he comes back to the Green Bay Packers. I think there's too much water under the bridge. There's too many things that's been done. I don't think it happens. He's now saying that he gave them the opportunity to make all the trades they wanted to, and then he's forcing their hand. He's forcing their hand. So, and he's pretty. Look, if you are a Raiders GM, you don't overpay for him. Don't overpay for him. You offer something, but don't overpay, because if he holds his word and says, I'm not playing for him, they got to take what you offer. Who are some of the players that did not get drafted, which surprises you? I would say Dylan Moses. I don't know. I have not seen who didn't get drafted yet. Did the quarterback from Stanford get did the quarterback from Stanford get did he get drafted? Aaron will never be looked at the same way again. I've always thought Aaron Rodgers was an attitude problem anyway. I've always said that. Great quarterback, but he has never won a game in his career when he was down 10 points. Think about that. Think about that. He has never won a game when he was down 10 points. How about that? All right, Al, have a good one, my friend. Thanks again. I do appreciate it. That tells you something. That's not the rest of the team so much. That's fortitude at quarterback. He's a great front runner. And if he gets on top of you 20-0, he doesn't lose. But boy, if you get on top of him 14-0, 14-3, he's not going to come back and beat you. He's not going to come back and beat you. He can come back from 8, 9 points, but it may be 2 touchdowns, maybe 14 points. Davis Mills got drafted 3rd round to Houston. Okay, that's going to be interesting because I don't think he's really good either. Heard Watson might not play this season. Well, I think there's a great chance Watson won't get to play this season. I think there's a great chance NFL is going to step in and say, hey, no, it's not going to happen. I would be very surprised if Watson plays. I really would. And hell, before it's over with, it may not be civil. It could be criminal cases against him. And I mean, he could be facing jail time. So, yeah, I don't look for Watson to play this year. I really don't. Who will be the Texans' starting quarterback week 1? Oh, man. I'll say it'll be a free agent quarterback right now. Somebody's a free agent or somebody's going to get cut. It could be somebody like who's the quarterback right now at Vegas. He could definitely step in. He could definitely be the quarterback for Houston. Derek Carr. You think Nick Foles? It could be. Could be Nick Foles. Yeah, they've got an overabundance now in Chicago. It could be Andy Dalton. Could be Andy Dalton. He's been down in Texas. Somebody's not going to stay put in Chicago. Denver may not keep everybody they've got. They may get rid of their guy that was there, Locke. He could definitely be gone. Who knows? It could be a lot of different players. Could be that quarterback at Washington heading to playoffs. I couldn't even tell you his name. Was short guy, tough as nails, or is he tough as a $2 steak? A little short guy, but he played a pretty good playoff game. It could be him. It definitely could be. There's a lot of guys it could be. Bless you. But I still think there's some other places. Heineke, yeah. I still think there's places it's got to be filled yet. New Orleans, I don't think they filled in their position yet. Darius says, hi, Mrs. Rob. Hi, Darius. She did her expert riding a lawn tractor today. She did a good job. I didn't get a chance to take a picture of it, but she was out here riding along. RG3 getting a little long in the tooth. He could fill in for somebody. I don't know if he starts. Dalton could start. I really don't think the kid at New Orleans, that's the all-around player. I don't like him starting the season at number 1. I really don't. If he has to be a backup, that's okay. Johnny Mansell, doubtful. But who knows? I mean, Garoppolo still could be going somewhere. We don't know. because they've got Lance now. Um, who knows? And then obviously Wood. Well, Tebow. It looks like Tebow's going to be a tight end now. Tebow tried out at tight end for Jacksonville, and the coach moved next door to Tebow. Next door, mansion to mansion, as they say. So Tebow, he's got his probably the first foot in the door at Jacksonville to be at least a tight end there. We'll see what happens. But who will be starting quarterback for the Patriots, Newton or Jones? Well, I think probably they'll try Newton. Man, I'll tell you what. I would go with Mac Jones. We saw what Newton was all about last year. They went 7-9, and 2 or 3 of those games he could have easily have lost. They did not play so well. Which rookie will have the most jersey sales? Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence. I think. Obviously New York hopes Wilson does, but they're not going to win enough games with him. I really don't think so. Dallas, Dallas has got Parsons. I don't think that'll lead the league. Bears has Fields. That'll be a sexy deal for those guys. Falcons have Pitts. Falcons. Do you know anyone that watched the Derby? I didn't get a chance to myself either. There was a lot of things I missed today. I look up and down this list right here. Trevor Lawrence, to me, is the first one that really steps up and says, boom. Obviously, Steelers with Harris. We'll see what happens there. That should be interesting because I think Franco Harris's number is retired, if I'm not mistaken. But it would have been interesting to see if he'd even try to get number 32. But I think it's retired. But it would have been funny to watch anyway. But that Harris kid is good. Saw that Alonso's planning on defending his home run derby championship. Yes, I heard that too the other day. When he gets closer to the All-Star game, he may change his mind if they're close to first place. That definitely could change. Scherzer, the more the Nats are playing, the more I'm hearing trade rumors. Scherzer. I don't think he's going to be a Nat all season. I think he's going somewhere else. We'll see who will get him. Could be Oakland. Oakland may be willing to open their wallet for once. They never have done that. They never have made a move like that ever in their careers. It would be interesting. Obviously, Houston would love to have him. Kansas City, they've been playing well. Their salary is not that high, but are they going to keep playing well? I don't know. White Sox, they've tripped over themselves a few times this year, just like the Twins have really played the same way. And then obviously you got to look at the evil empire. The Yankees could definitely go after him and say that they want him. They'll pay the luxury tax, but they could go after Scherzer. That would be one hell of a pitching staff then. That would be a lot better anyway. I still say the best pitching staff out there right now. White Sox have a good one too. Chicago White Sox made a move to court new Bears quarterback Justin Fields by creating a custom jersey just for him before the Cubs could have a say. Oh wow, really? That's interesting there. Because the Bears most time play up on the north end where the Cubs play. White Sox, hey, I don't fault the White Sox for that. I don't fault him again. It's all according to where Fields wanted to go too, So don't think about don't forget that probably if he doesn't show up to watch the game, it's probably a non-issue. So being that he was coming, they probably had somebody on hands that make this guy jersey that size, number, whatever the hell he wants. And it should be interesting. The Bears, they're going to have a very, very, very interesting season, I think, now. And if Green Bay loses their quarterback, like I think they will, that division is just like tossed salad. You just don't know what's going to happen. Be back in like 10 or 15 minutes. We may still be on then. I don't know. We'll see. It's a little bit after 10 already. Let's play some football, said Harris Jessup. What's going on, my friend? What's going on? I was even going to ask you, Harris, if you wanted to come on with me tonight. Want to talk some football? Want to talk something about the draft? Totally up to you. I wouldn't keep you maybe an hour, maybe not that long. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. What do you guys think? You want Harris to come? Not tonight. I don't have a working camera. Oh, okay. So he couldn't even if he wanted to, guys. I was gonna try to get the room to push you. Who are the top 5 players under the age of 30? NFL players? Wow. Josh Allen's got to be. Oh, okay. You're not at home. Okay, got you, bud. Josh Allen's got to be one of them. Oh, wow. 30. Under the age of 30. Josh Allen's got to be one. Oh, kid in Kansas City. I'm not sure I'm going Lamar Jackson. I'm not sure I go top 5. I don't know. Lamar Jackson so has so many holes in his game. One year he's MVP, and next year they win 8 games. I don't know. Who do you think will be each team's starting quarterback in 4 years? Oh my gosh. But the other question, he is an MVP. Yes, he is. No doubt he's an MVP. But if he doesn't learn how to play a different system or style football, he's not going to be there in 3 years. He's going to be an afterthought. He's got to learn how to play in the pocket and throw the ball. He's able to run out of the pocket well, but he also takes a lot of hits. Josh Allen does too, but Josh Allen knows how to throw the football. I sure will. The kid in Kansas City has got to be the number 1 player under 30. The quarterback, I forget his name. What's his name, Dar? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. They're the top 2. Who else under 30? How old's that running back in Tennessee? Derrick Henry? Yeah, I was going to ask that. How old is he? Because he would be top 5. That's 3 players. Wow. How about the guy from Washington that rushes a quarterback? The kid that came from Ohio State that I did not like. I voted last year. I don't want to get him. He actually played really well. Henry's 27. The kid in Washington that rushes a quarterback. What in the hell is his name? Chase Young. Joey Bosa. Probably so. Ezekiel Elliott. He's got so much help, man. He's got so much help. That's the thing about Dallas. That's hard to really. They got 2 good wideouts. They had it. Now they're going to have to really strengthen their tight end up. Good running backs and a good quarterback. I mean, they really position players, they probably got the best across the board as far as talent. I can't put either Zeke or Dak in the top. I don't think so either. No, because they hadn't won enough. They hadn't won enough to be up there either. Yeah, I don't think so. Plus, but as a tandem, they're very tough. As a tandem, they're very tough. Yes, as a tandem, very tough to defend Elliott, especially when they got a little bit of a passing game going on. Prescott, he's got something to prove. He's coming off an injury. Anybody coming off an injury has to prove himself again. They really do. And he's more than anybody. When you got $39 million coming to a quarterback, and the first thing people are looking at is let's look and see the top whoever. And then you have to look all the way down and find Brady like 27th, 28th highest because he's willing to take a pay cut. Who are the trash dump of the week candidates for tomorrow? There's a couple. The NFL, just for the way they're handling this situation with Goodell, number one. Okay, they're talking about equity, equality, and all this type of stuff. You know, we don't want any more bullying. Safe harbor. We want, we want everybody to be safe and be nice to each other and all that. And not one time has Goodell addressed the situation about the Houston quarterback. Not one time publicly. If you can find it, great. I have not been able to find it in print or on YouTube or anything. I have not been able to find it. He should address that because the women, yeah, he won't. You're exactly right. But women now have a good gripe. Like, okay, you want equality in this world, but only when it works out for you. And that's the thing. So, I mean, tell me what you want to tell me. But, I mean, I've seen pictures of some of these women that was masseuses, okay? And trust me, if you wanted to start a magazine and have magazine models, most of these women could be magazine models. Okay. They are not women. They're not women that just are masseuses in another town. No. You wait till you see some of the photos of some of these women. And these are women that he groped and did a lot of stuff to. Okay. So you just hope maybe somewhere along the way, one or two of them's got some money and can press the issue. And maybe we'll see what happens. If you could erase one trade in history of sports, what would it be? The Babe Ruth trade. I'm a big Boston Red Sox fan. I'd love seeing Babe Ruth play out his career in Boston. Goodell, yeah. So right now, Goodell is definitely up there. We could have somebody else. LeBron's whining week to week. We're used to it. I mean, we're used to it. He's saying what he wants to say. It was a trash dump move when he did call out the cop, right, and gave his name and address and all that shit. That was a trash dump move, but that was in the past, and we've already put him as trash dump of the week for that one. So really, he's been kind of quiet over the last week or two. He says what he says, but it's in one ear and out the other. If you're like me, if you see him on TV, you either mute him or either turn the channel and say the hell with him. Great basketball player. Okay. I don't deny him of that. He's a top 10, top 20 talent of all time. But I love hearing these people, especially some of the young people. He's the best player of all time. Go back and watch Michael Jordan play. I'm a Duke guy. Go back and watch Michael Jordan play college and pro basketball. Okay? He didn't have the greatest jump shot, but Lord, he could make people look so sick. And he had some smooth dunks, and he had some moves when he was switching hands. No, LeBron can't do that. LeBron can run over people. Okay, he can railroad people. Is what I call it. Just rail them over and lay it up. He can do that because he's 290 pounds. he could have been a blocking back for Jerome Bettis. I mean, that's what he could have done. But come on. I mean, for anybody to just think that this guy is as good as Michael Jordan is just ludicrous. It's crazy. You got to go back and watch Michael Jordan play. Somewhere now, is he somewhere in it, 10, 9, 8, 12, wherever? Yeah, no doubt. He's a top 20 player of all time, let's say. But come on. There's some great players that came out before he ever came out there. I'm a diehard, huge LeBron fan, and I live in the Chicagoland area, but he's not passing Michael Jordan up. Hell no. And I agree. No. He's just not. I don't care if he wins 10 championships. Okay? I don't care if he wins 10. I mean, look at some of the talent Michael Jordan played with. Yeah. Okay. Yes. He played with Pippen, yes. But my God, look at some of those guys he had in the paint. Bill Wennington. I mean, he had some guy. I'm telling you, Will Perdue. I mean, he had some. Yeah, he had some not such great players around him a lot of the time. A lot of the time. Yeah, it just kills me when I hear people tell me that Michael Jordan. Look, Michael Jordan could play the game. He really could play the game. And now I'll say this. He's not a great GM. I don't think he's a great GM. I think there's a lot better ones out there. I don't think he's helped Chicago. I mean, help Charlotte out a whole lot. But he had 60 points in a flu game. That was yeah. Hell, Klay Thompson, he hit 80 in the game. So did Kobe. Kobe got 80 in the game. 80 points. It's crazy. Oh, Tatum scored 60? Yeah. But Kobe got 80 that one game. I mean, that was sick. That was sick. You got to go back and watch that. Bird 60 when he went up against Atlanta. That LeBron's career high is what, 58? I think it's 58. I think it is. What is LeBron James' career high in points for a game?
Here's what I've got.
61. He scored 61 one game.
High of 61 points in a single game.
He scored 61 in a game. $61. 81. He burnt Jalen Rose. Yeah. How many 60? How about this one? The guy that came from Houston. The Beard. How many 60-point games has he had? Does anybody know? The Beard. He went to Brooklyn. How many 60-point games has he had? James Harden, yeah. How many 60-point games has he had? Does anybody know? He's a bad man. He is a bad guy. He is a bad man. Four. He's had 4. He's a bad man. You think about it. 4 60-point games or more. That's a beast, man. You think about it. You think about that. Not many guys have one 60-point game in their career. 4 60-point games. Who are your top 10 all-time NBA pure scorers of all time? Number one is Michael Jordan. Okay, Michael Jordan knew at one-on-one he could go with anybody. Okay, number 2, a lot of people are not going to like it. I don't care. You're able to score 80 in a game, you're one bad man. Kobe. I think Kobe's number 2, best scorer of all time. Number 3, he still plays. He still plays. You think Wilt was the best scorer of all time? Wilt was a man among boys too, though. You know, I tell you what, who's the baddest shooter of all time too? That makes a difference too. And Curry to me is in the top 10 because that guy, he's never been out of his range. He can shoot the ball 40 feet. Steph Curry can shoot. Kevin Durant has some limits. Kevin Durant has some limits. If you put somebody 6'9" or 6'10" on him that can move, somebody like, let's say somebody like a Magic Johnson, not a Bird, but a Magic Johnson, maybe even somebody like a Kevin McHale. Durant wouldn't be as bad a man. He plays a lot against a lot of 6'6", 6'7" guys. He helps. Damian Lillard, he's up there. Yeah, Bird could score. Bird could score almost on anybody when he wanted to score on anybody. Then the guy down in Atlanta, Dominique Wilkins, all we ever saw was him dunking the ball. He could score. He could score. Bernard King. Bernard King was one bad man. Chet Holmgren committed to Gonzaga. Oh, okay. Very cool. I've not seen the kid play, so can't say anything about him. But Bernard King, if you ever watched Bernard King play, he was bad. He was bad. Yeah. I'm not sure I'm gonna go with Dr. J. Dr. J had some good moves, but he had times where he didn't score a lot of points. Who else is a really good scorer? Kiki Vandeweghe. Kiki Vandeweghe was a really good scorer when he played for Denver Nuggets. If you had to pick your own custom NFL offensive line to protect you, if you're a starting quarterback, who would you pick for your offensive lineman? All time or now? Because right now, I really don't know all the offensive linemen out there that play now. I don't watch every week in the NFL anymore. I had to do a lot of studying just to figure out who I would take in the draft. I just learned the intricacies of what each team needed, and that's pretty much, yeah, Karl Malone was a real good scorer. You're right. It was a real good scorer. So was Barkley. You guys like to pick on me all the time about Charles Barkley. Very good scorer. The German from Dallas. What the hell was his name? I can't think of it. Dirk Nowitzki. He could score with anybody. I mean, he could put the ball in the hoop. There's a lot. There's a lot of them can do that. All-time leading scorer, of course, yeah, Kareem. Yeah. He didn't often lead the league in scoring. He just played a long damn time. He played a long, long time. It was really good a long, long time. He was one when he started seeing his numbers drop. He exited stage left and said, "I'm fine," and he was fine. He didn't need to prove anything else to anybody else. That's for damn sure. And he played well. He played really good basketball for a lot of years. Rick Barry was able to score on a lot of people. Uh, there's so many guys that could play that knew how to score. Vinnie Johnson, the microwave. I don't know if anybody remembers him or not. I remember. I think I want to say one time in 4 minutes he scored like 23 points. It was nuts. I mean, like in 4 minutes he scored like 20 some points. It was nuts. Wow, Pacers put it to him. Yeah, Thunder is not very good anymore. They lost all their talent. Pistol Pete, yeah. What's up, Mark? He was really good. Utah Jazz. He played. I think he played when they were still down in New Orleans. New Orleans Jazz. But I think he may have went to Utah as well. He was good. It was a lot of good players. Allen Iverson, yes. Allen left just before I moved to Philly. He just had left. So out of the draft, out of the first round, let's just stick with the first round. This player is a can't miss. This player will be great. This player will be remembered in the 21 draft because he may end up being he may not MVP. He may be a Hall of Famer, whether he's an offensive lineman, defensive lineman, whoever. This player, Alex says Kyle Pitts. He likes Kyle Pitts. Alex likes him. Okay. Does anybody like any of these quarterbacks good enough to say 2021, this guy is going to be remembered and going to be looked back like, wow. You know, he's number one for a reason, or he was number 20 for a reason, or he was number 20 and should have been higher or something. Do you think Devontae Smith? Smith fell. Smith fell a lot. Yeah, he went to 10. Went to the Eagles. The only thing about the Eagles is this: if they can screw up anybody, they can do it. And look who's throwing to him, Darius. Patrick Surtain. Yes, he's very, very good too. The Broncos. Harris says, yeah, Dallas wanted him. The thing about Devontae Smith is look who's throwing to him. Jalen Hurts, to me, I don't know if he's ever going to be an NFL quarterback. I don't know if he can lead a team. I know there's a lot of skeptics out there. Do I think Philadelphia can go 500 with Hurts? I don't think so. That's just me. I saw Hurts play enough last year. They weren't very good with any quarterback they had, but I just don't think Hurts. I just don't think he doesn't have I think Lance will be the biggest bust out of the first round picks. I think there's a good chance he could be, but it could be Wilson. Could be Wilson. That would be even a bigger bust if he starts from day one and something doesn't happen well for it. You know, Lawrence, obviously, if Lawrence doesn't come out and win 4 or 5 games for him this year, that would be a bust. They got to win some games. They cannot go 3-14 and say, well, that kid was on a learning curve. No, they got to win 5-6 games. They got to. Micah Parsons going to the Cowboys. He's got so much speed, though. If he doesn't get hurt, that's hard for me to believe Parsons would be a bust. I don't think so. I think most of these defensive players are pretty darn good. We'll see. Oh boy. I like Pay. Yeah, for the Colts. He fell a lot too. I actually had him going 15th to the Patriots, and he fell 21st. Yeah. He's going to be good, I think. I think he's going to be good. Farley, I had the Titans taking Farley back a few weeks ago, and he ended up – who will be the best O-lineman from this draft? My favorite one from the draft is Darasol. We'll see. I know most people say Sewell. We will see. I think Darasol is more physical. I really do. Bless you. Sewell has shorter arm length, arm width, arms wingspan. We'll see. I think I like Darasol overall. Leatherwood, Leatherwood. The thing about Leatherwood is he played a lot of guard. He played a lot of guard in college, and then they moved him to tackle out of necessity. And most of the time, he played left tackle this past year, but he got moved from right guard. And I think Leatherwood probably is going to be a better. I think he'd be a better interior lineman. That's just my thinking. If he's moved to left guard or right guard, I think he's in better position than he is at left tackle. I'm not sure he's got the foot speed. Loyalty nearly killed my beehive. I don't know what that is. But Leatherwood, I just don't think he has the foot speed in the NFL to stick with some of these really fast defensive ends. I just don't think so. We'll see. He got beat a lot last year. Yeah, I was wondering what Darius was talking about too. So what? Was there 7 Alabama guys went first round? Which rookie will be the first one to get suspended this year? Who knows, Alex? So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 got picked. That's right, because Barmore didn't get picked. Barmore did not get picked. That was a big surprise to me. Who's the one rookie not drafted in the first round to keep your eye on the most? Barmore. Christian Barmore can really play the game. He can play, I think. He's a beast. He is and where did he end up going? Where did Barmore end up going? If he ends up going somewhere like in the NFC North, like with the Bengals or the Browns or Steelers, man, I'll tell you what, some of those quarterbacks are not going to be happy. Somebody like a Lamar Jackson would not be happy if he's coming after him all the time. He would not like it. But maybe he went to the NFC. I don't know. Let one of you guys tell me where Barmore went, or I'll look it up in just a minute. But I didn't know. He went to the Patriots. Oh, did he go to the Patriots? Wow. Patriots had a pretty darn good draft, considering they didn't have to move up. They got Mac Jones. Now, obviously, we don't know what Mac Jones is going to pan out to be. He may end up being, chip beef on toast. Shit on the shingle. But he could be pretty good. So we'll see. Jones, and then they ended up getting Barmore in the second. That's pretty good. Oh, did they? Oh, they did trade up to get him. Oh, okay. So they did give up a little something. Yeah. I really, really thought when we saw a trade up the other day, a couple of days ago, that there was going to be some more movement, then. And then behind it, it really wasn't. And the bottom of the first round was kind of a boring deal. Morig didn't go, the safety. I think a lot of people expected him to go as well. So you should have Tom Brady, Charles Barkley, Bryce Harper as a race. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, I've had a lot of people. Bryce is on the DL now. Bryce is hurt. And I don't know if he's on the DL. He may have played today. I know they got beat, but I didn't get to see any of it. I did not. Um, but yeah, they got whooped. Got whooped by a run, I think. So who out here thinks Fields can be a serviceable quarterback for Chicago? Most people in the Chicago area like him. Most people in the Chicago area really like Fields. I'm still a little iffy on him. He had a lot of iffy games in the Big Ten this year. Yeah, he played great against Clemson. Not very good against Alabama. Alabama, tough defense, and look at how many players got drafted. Dallas with 11 picks made 8 picks on defense, and I can see 4 of those guys starting out of the box. Well, yeah, Parsons he's got to fill in for Lee right off the bat. Lee retired about a week ago, so he's got to step right in for him. And that is his name, Lee. That's not his damn name. Maybe it is. Shit. Linebacker. Sean Lee. Yeah. Sean Lee is his name. Yeah, that's his name. So he's got to step right in for him. The thing about Parsons, he's faster than Sean Lee. I think he really is faster than Sean Lee. He's got to stay within himself. He cannot be jumping out of position and stuff. He's got to stay in position because he's going to be an inside man. And if he's doing that, if he's going to lead, if he's going to lead that defense, now it could be his defense to lead. It could be Parsons' defense to lead. If he's going to stay in the inside, he cannot fall out of position, or that defense could look like Swiss cheese starting out week 1. When you play, especially if you play in a 3-4, if you play in a 3-4 gap defense, you cannot, especially the 2 inside linebackers, you cannot be out of place. You cannot go too wide, and you can't go on the other side of the field. You got to stay in your position. So we'll see what happens there. It's a risk. It's a risk, but they were in a position where they had to do something. If they didn't go out and get people in free agency, they had to draft. Like I say, Philadelphia, I think they're still a shambles offensively. Defensively, they're pretty good. They'll stay in games just with that defense alone. The Giants, to me, now that's probably going to be a surprise to you guys. I think the Giants have got the best team in the East right now. And then Washington, let's see what their quarterback can do. I mean, shit, if he comes out and plays as well as he can play and they get protection for him, they're going to be tough. Washington could win 7, 8, 9, 8, maybe even 10 games this year if they get protection for their quarterback. It could happen. It really could. But that's a big if they've got enough protection, for the quarterback, because quarterback is more than serviceable. All 4 teams in the NFC East have the same issue. Yeah, just the different. I don't know. I think the difference is Dallas's defense is a bigger question mark. I think Philadelphia's offense, a huge question mark. I think the Giants' offense is a somewhat question mark, but I think they're better. And I think the Washington offense is a question mark just because they got a bad offensive line. Which team in the NFC will be the biggest roadblock for the Bucs to go back to the Super Bowl? Well, a whole lot depending on what the 49ers do. Are the 49ers going to have Garoppolo start week 1? Are they going to do a transition and let Lance start week 4? Or are they going to let Garoppolo go the whole season? Are they going to trade Garoppolo, try to get Aaron Rodgers in there and have Lance behind him start of the season? Let's say it this way. If Rodgers comes wherever he goes, that's going to be probably one of the better teams that you got to watch out for. And the only one in the NFC he wants to go to is the 49ers. The other 2 teams are AFC teams. So probably the 49ers will be the biggest obstacle to watch. A lot of people telling me the Rams. I am not sold on Stafford. I'm not sold on Stafford. He's had time before in Detroit. He wasn't all in the NFC North. You're not playing Green Bay every week. You're playing Minnesota sometimes. You're playing Chicago, teams that not the best. And he really never showed his best very often in a place. Detroit really didn't. They won't boo him and shit. A lot of cities would. Philadelphia would have laid the booze on him. New York would have laid the booze on him. Washington would have got, they would have booed the hell out of him. New England would have. They're used to winning now. Pittsburgh wouldn't have put up with the bull. So it's going to be interesting how he comes out in LA. We'll see. I think Detroit has a great chance of coming out of this season 8-8 or better. They got Goff and they got a load of draft picks. Who will be tougher matchup for the Chiefs, the Ravens or the Bills? You tell me who you think. Of those 2 teams, with what they currently have, who do you think's a tougher team to beat? If the Chiefs have got to go to one of them, or if the Chiefs have got to host one of them, who do you think can give them the harder time? Definitely. I agree with Harris. The Bills. The Ravens. The Chiefs could do this. Look, and it's pretty simple. Play with a 3-man front and have four linebackers in the game. And only play 3 linebackers and have 5 DBs in the game, and just have somebody just follow Lamar Jackson all game long. Okay, that would be easy. They run the football way too much. Now we go back and look at the Super Bowl. What did Tampa do? Well, Tampa did this. Tampa flared out their ends. Okay. And when I say they flared out their ends, they did this. They dared Kansas City to run the football. The first 2 steps that the defensive ends took were actually toward the wide receivers, and they were coming around. And they were coming to meet them at the station because the 2 defensive tackles were pushing the line back. And those 4 guys, they had Mahomes running for his friggin' life all game long. And that's the way you play it. You have got to turn your defensive guys loose. You got to have good linebackers in case they run the football. But you got to give your ends the chance to just put their ears back and go after them. Andy Reid, he's been criticized a lot for not trying to run the football in the Super Bowl. I don't know how much success they would have had, but they would have had more than they did if they had tried to at least run the football some. But they just kept throwing, and that's what he did in Philly. He did it in Philly. So, they knew that if they got them off their game, they had them, and they did. Pierre-Paul played one hell of a game in the Super Bowl. Tampa could be their own roadblock. I guess it could. They're such a veteran team, though. They're such a veteran team, and the Tom Brady presence. And people can say what they want to about Tom Brady. when you start getting other players on your team to take pay cuts, that don't happen on every team. It happens on teams where they want to win. Brady's been taking pay cuts 10 years. Other players start taking pay cuts and say, I want to win again. The kid that was at Pittsburgh, he re-signed this week with Tampa. Antonio, whatever the hell his name is. All he was trouble with Pittsburgh the last year and a half. He was a model citizen for Tampa because they know they didn't have to have. I mean, they would have got rid of it. Antonio Brown is his name. They could have got rid of him, but he wanted to stay and win a championship. He stayed, won a championship. Even asked after the Super Bowl, he said, "Will you sign me to a one-year contract?" And they told him straight up, "We may," and they finally did. I think Thursday. So, Antonio Brown. A lot of people called him Antonio Clown because that's all he's been his whole career. Is a clown. He's getting around people that want to win, willing to take pay cuts, doing this, do that. Once players start to realize what it takes to win, what they can help their legacy, some of them do it, some won't. Some won't take pay cuts. There's just players that are not going to take pay cuts. The ones that don't generally are not the ones holding the trophy up at the end. That's just my opinion. I think if you're willing to take pay cuts and you make more room for more offense and more defensive, better players, it only makes you better. It only makes you better. And that's the sacrifice that they do in where pretty much wherever Tom's went. He's been the leader by sacrifice. And like it or don't like it, that's what draws good players. They know Tom wins, and they know Tom gives up a lot. So, to me, they're still a team to beat, even over the Chiefs, even over the Bills, even over the 49ers, just due to the fact they've got so many other great players. When we're talking about the draft, of 32 teams. There was only one team that we said they'll take the best player available just because they don't have any needs. Tampa. We didn't say that about the 49ers. They needed a quarterback. They needed some other stuff. We didn't say that about New Orleans. They need a quarterback and a couple other things. We didn't say that about Buffalo. Buffalo needs a better pass rush. Maybe another receiver. I don't know. We didn't say it about Kansas City. Kansas City definitely needs some better offensive linemen. Hey, that's just the way it is. I think probably if you want to look at just the first round, the Dolphins moved up. They ended up getting they traded down and around and flipped and flopped and did this. They still got Waddle out of the first round. Very good first round for the Dolphins, and they picked up a couple extra two number ones somewhere along the way. I think, and then they get the edge rusher Phillips too. So it's Waddle and Phillips they got in the first round. Jags got Lawrence. Let's see, they got to pick twice, didn't they? Yeah, Etienne. So they got two Clemson products. We'll see what that's all about before it's over with. Kwity Paye for the Colts, I think was a great pick. We'll see how well that works out. Lions got Sewell. I think one of the best offensive line. I like Darisaw a little better maybe, but we'll see how well Sewell comes in and plays for the Lions. If he can play left tackle, if he can come in there and block, it could make a difference. And maybe the Lions are a better team now. We'll see. Fields he's going to stir up a lot in Chicago, whether he wins or whether he loses. It's going to be a lot of stir going on. Same way with Lance if he's playing in San Francisco. Same thing with Wilson. And same thing with Lawrence. All these teams get good stirs, and Jones too. If they start, they have got to try. They've got to be better than the team was last year. You see what I'm saying? They've got to be. I mean, the Jags were 2-14. Lawrence cannot come out this year and go 3-14. He just can't do that. He's got to win a couple more games in that. Even if he has to just take one on the chin and throw a ball down 70 yards and somebody catches it. They've got to be willing to take a little bit. And if that means getting pushed around a little bit or punched up a little bit just to find somebody open or be able to run the ball, whatever, they got to do it. Same thing with the Jets. I'm not sure they're going to be that much better, and they're in a tougher division, I think, than the Jags. Jags play Houston. Houston's all up in the air about quarterback. They have no idea. Indianapolis, their quarterback, he's been ragged on so much in Philadelphia. You got to wonder if he'll ever be back to his old self. And Tennessee, their defense was Swiss cheese last year. They ran the ball good, but they didn't throw the ball particularly well. And the Jags are picking up talent, and they, like I said, they got Lawrence, they got Etienne. They've got some good talent on defense, or some decent talent on defense. If they can fill in 2 or 3 holes there, now they got Lawrence. Maybe their offensive line is not the best, but they have bettered themselves. Are they 5-6 win team? That's still a big question mark. I think they win more than what they won last year with the talent they've already picked up. They're a better team. Are they better than the Titans? I don't necessarily think so. Are they better than Houston? I definitely think so. They're capable of beating them twice, I think. I think they could. And are they better than, let's see, Jags, Houston, Indianapolis, and Indianapolis. Are they capable of beating Indianapolis? Definitely. Carson Wentz comes out and plays like he can, they're not as good a team. I'm talking about the Jags. They're just not. They're not going to. Indianapolis probably is the best team in that division. If you want to look at top to bottom, Tennessee's real close, but I think Indianapolis is a better team. We'll see. I think they're the team that they could win 11, 12 games this year out of 17. They could do it. We are going to head out of here. What time is it? It's almost 11 o'clock. Don't have to get up so early tomorrow. Our yard sale has completed. We did pretty well. Pretty happy about it. I want to thank anybody. Folks, I will talk to you all later. I have an early morning. I need to hit the sack. Have a good night. Harris, I'm heading that way too. Anybody that's in here that came by my house today, thank you so much. I appreciate it. My wife, Darlene, if you saw her instead of me, she did. She posted some stuff on her Facebook, I guess, telling you guys, what we had and stuff. A lot of you just walked right up and said, "Hey, you left us good maps and stuff," and we appreciate the comments. We really did, and we hope that anything that you purchase from us is a good value for you as well. We're going to head out. We've got our Little League baseball season coming up. I may try to video some of the games. We will see. They're not trademarked, and I can actually do it with my camera. Whether if you're a coach or a sponsor, you can do it. And we have special places where we can actually get some really good camera views. We can be from behind the plate, or we can go out in the outfield, kind of like an outfield view, kind of like Major League Baseball, and zoom in that way, kind of from the outfield. I don't know which way we're going to do yet. I got to see what kind of good cameras we've got to do anything with. But if we're able to, we will broadcast it for you. Not live, maybe. If we're able to do it live, I would love to do that. That would be awesome, especially if we had some good camera equipment and good electric that we won't, run out of batteries. If that's the case, you guys may be seeing my 10, 11, and 12-year-olds playing baseball on the channel. I hope so. They can take a lead, 75-foot bases, balks, all that stuff's included. So pretty much major league rules. They're not going to put up throwing in bats, throwing tempers and all, none of that crap. But still, it's pretty close to major league rules. It's just not quite as big a field. It may be 70-foot bases. They were unsure. I think 70 would be better with this group I've got because it's a lot of 10, 11-year-olds. I think once you get 13, you can go to 75. You may even be able to go to, but I think 90-foot bases, I think it should be about 15. I really do. So we'll see what we can do. I got some jerseys going out to the people that order them. I hope, as soon as I get mine, and I will show it on the channel. I will show you what our jersey looks like when I'm able to get it. I'm hoping to get it very, very soon to show it to you guys. God bless. Be good to one another. Trash dump of the week is tomorrow. Don't know what time. I'm probably not going to wake up real early in the morning. This has been a grueling last 2 or 3 days. Yard sales, cleaning everything up, preparing for the next day. Tomorrow, I got to put stuff away. We're not going to sell tomorrow, I don't think, anyway. So we'll see what happens. God bless. Have a great night. And thank you guys so much for joining my channel tonight. Have a great evening, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.